everyone. Today we continue our speedrun journey. We start from 1250. Let's see how far we can get. I will share my thinking as we go, explain key ideas and common mistakes. All right, let's start. Welcome. E4. Okay, Caro-Kann. E5. This is a good choice against Caro-Kann and also against French defense. This is very common structure and important structure in chess overall. So it's a good idea to play these kind of lines. Okay, we have few different kind of ideas against c5. White can take, knight f3, or c3 is also an option. But if we play c3, then bishop f5 and e6, black might get a better version. I mean, good friends when bishop is here. So let's take here and try to keep this pawn. Okay, now we can't, but f4 is a good choice here. e6, we can play knight f3, and there is no attack. Okay, we don't have to do this immediately. Bishop c5 is a threat, so we can play bishop e3 now. This is theory, and if queen goes here, we can play c3, and when bishop takes, we are ready for b4. So black has to play d4 to get something, but now we have e4 square for our knight, for example, or bishop, and this d pawn might get weak later. Okay, let's develop pieces. I will put bishop on d3, knight on f3, and so on. We can do this first to prevent knight b4 if we want to keep this bishop. Usually this is the best minor piece in these positions, so it's a good idea to keep it. Okay, we don't have to take this immediately. Actually, these can get weak if we can attack here or here. Maybe even queen e4 is an idea if black goes castling. Queen here also, and then we are ready for knight f3. Okay, I think maybe knight e4 is the best because it hits here, and then if we can play knight d6, black can't castle, and usually it's a good idea to prevent castling if we can do that. The downside is that queen a5 seems to work tactically because we don't have b4. There is a pin, so actually I think we can't go here. Maybe we can, but it's not the best move. So let's just develop pieces, or okay, maybe it's better idea to put queen here. It prevents castling, and then knight f3. But I have to speed up a bit because time trouble is already here. And then there is no chance to castle because g4. I think g4 is an option here already. Maybe bishop e4. Oh, this bishop is now in trouble, so let's take it. So that's why b6 wasn't an option for black. Now we can just castle and trade few pieces. Usually it's the best idea when you are piece up. It seems that this opponent knows how to create some pressure. He puts pawn here and tries to collect those pawns. Okay, this is actually quite demanding now. If he goes here, I have to put my queen g5. I think it works, but it seems to me that he's really good in practical play. He can create some threats even when he is down in material, so have to be careful. I think there's some tricks still. Okay, let's take here. e6 is the next move, or we can take here, of course. But e6 opens this file, and usually it's the best idea. Then king is in danger, and of course knight will drop in many lines. Okay, it seems to be very difficult position for black, because if he tries to castle, I can take here and queen takes here. I think there's no other choices. Maybe something like this, and king takes here. But actually, I think I can even checkmate him somehow. But okay, if I can't find it, then there is queen takes g2. So probably h3 is the best here. But I think I will take here, then check, and then I will take the queen or play bishop d4. In these kind of positions, it's very important not to play too fancy ideas, be practical and so on. Aha, okay, maybe there's no moves anymore. Okay. To the next game. Let's play e5, knight c6. Okay, we have Rui Lopez. This is quite common move at this level. Here is, of course, many different lines that black can do. Of course, bishop g4. I think bishop d6, but this queen d6 is probably the easiest to play. At least you don't have to remember theory. You can just put bishop there, or c5 to prevent d4 if you want, and then long castle and so on. Okay, maybe c5 now. Oh, maybe knight jumps here and then can go here if I play c6. So, okay, let's play bishop here. And it h3, we can do this, f6, and bishop can go here. Okay. Quite natural. If knight jumps here, then we can keep the bishop and then kick the knight. And we are not losing tempos here, because we will win a tempo back when this knight has to retreat, or we can just try to open that h file because we are aiming for long castling here. So h5. Okay. G6. And then knight jumps somewhere. We can play bishop e7 and then take here. I think king side will get open, and that's black's favor. Maybe h4 intermediate move now. Okay, this pawn is also hanging. Taking here looks very natural. So if he takes, we can play knight here and here, for example, and this f6 will drop later. Okay, h4 is actually a threat already, so there is no time to take on f6. Should we keep the queens on the board? It's not necessary here because we are already up in material, but it's very position is very easy to play after queen e6, so why not? Because then we have extra options with king side attack. If f4, we can play check and then h4. I think it's very good idea to take this diagonal. Now there's no bishop e6 and e3 anymore, and now we are ready for pawn push, but don't have to do that. Actually, we can do without, maybe just castling. Now we can push the pawn forward, and then even f5 queen trade is the idea for white. Now we just develop our pieces, but maybe f4. Oh, actually have to check those tactics in every move. So here was a chance to take the queen. So okay, now it's clearly winning, of course. Now I just play some moves to get time to the clock, and then we will find our way to break white's position. At this level, players are quite good to find those easy tactics, how to take pawn, for example, if there is chance to do so. I'm going after g5 pawn, and then I will take here. I think it's the easiest way to find way. And now when he defended this pawn, then we have to try another idea. I think he plays very well. because it's not so easy to find the way how to break this position open. The best idea is usually give some material back to help to find those plans. And now I will take here. I think he will do this to prevent that idea. But maybe I still take there. Okay. Now it's easier because now my rook can enter to the position, and then even queen will enter if he tries to prevent that idea. Okay, let's take here. Another rook will join into action. Now it's checkmate in few moves. It's very good to know those basic tactics, like how to use this pawn to help your rooks. Good morning, welcome. Let's play d4 this time. And then c4. This is a mistake already. I think it's a bit surprising that at this level black plays this move. But what is the best way to react? What is the best move here for white? Why this is a mistake? You can think a few seconds and then I will give the answer. Okay, when knight comes here, I can take here, and black has to take with the queen or knight, and then I can take a strong center with e4 or knight c3, e4, even when queen takes it, and that is a problem for this opening. If black plays c6 or e6, then pawn takes, black can take back, and then there is no e4 chance, and that's why Slav defense or Queen's Gambit are better openings. Now we can have quite easy development with great center. And if bishop goes here, it doesn't harm. Actually, it makes white's center stronger. So we can give this chance for black. And actually black is using two moves to make this trade, and it's not a good idea. Maybe we can play a3, ace a3 now to make this happen, but we don't have to. I think so. We can just develop pieces. Maybe bishop d3 is better than bishop e2. It's more active. In these structures against these pawns, e5 is very common idea to get some attacking chances to h7. Here castling is of course a good option, but we can also play e5 immediately. It stops e5 and gives chances to take h7 immediately. I think if we play e5, black can't do this because we are ready for this attack, but let's see, maybe bishop d2 if needed, but it's very good to have this kind of backup plans. If something goes wrong, you can just play positionally like this way, knight d5, bishop d2, and white has very strong position. Maybe we can take here immediately and play knight g5. If king goes here, maybe it's not working. Okay, I think we don't have to do that because white's position is so good. We can just put our queen here, but now I think this is very tempting option for white. Okay, have to speed up. maybe knight g5 and we start with h4, h5. We don't have to castle. Maybe it's a bit... maybe it's not this level, at this level, but okay, I will castle in this game, but in my own games I would play knight g5, h4, h5. It's very strong attack. We can check those details later, but I'm pretty sure that White's position is winning or almost winning after those moves. Now this is very natural way to attack. If g6, then we can put our knight to e4 and bishop goes to g5 or h6. This is very good square after g6, and I think he can't really do this. We can put our queen on h5, and there's lots of different kind of threats. These pieces are already attacking. Maybe h6, queen e4 even, because after g6 we can take here. Okay, I have to speed up now. That's why I have to just play this move. There is no f5 because e6 is hanging, and now we can take here. Because if pawn takes, queen takes, and then checkmate will follow. These kind of pawns can be, I mean, White can just play this way and break this kingside position. Okay, he plays so quickly that I don't have time to explain the details, but okay, White is winning and how to play practical way here to prevent any kind of counterplay. f3 prevents bishop e4, knight e4. Of course, we could do just something like rook here. Trading pieces is usually a good idea, so let's trade. Knight d5 looks very strong, so let's take that square away. And then we can have nice control. Rook c1, bishop e3. But as I said, he can find this kind of nice little tactics, so have to be careful. Okay, he can't really take here because then he is losing knight, and okay, now this is a threat, so we have to be careful. This is bigger threat though, so there is no time to take this one. Now we can put our rook on 7th rank. Usually it's the best place for the rook. Now we can just collect those pawns, and now we have passed pawn. We can just push it forward or just keep it this way. Now bishop is not in play. We can play something like a4 to stop active plans, and now rook enters here or maybe here. Maybe, oh, okay. If I push d pawn, then there was already bishop takes f3. Actually, this was better, but I think everything wins here. But as we can see, my opponent plays quite quickly, and he keeps some edge in the clock, and that's why maybe he can cause some problems to his opponents. Hello, welcome. By the way, there is a poll in the chat. Feel free to vote if you want. The question is, how many of my speedrun streams have you watched? And thank you all if you can give your vote. This helps me to create better content. Okay, d4, d5. b3. Okay, white can do this, but then we actually know that bishop will go on this diagonal, and we can use this info to get some benefits. Maybe bishop b4 check, and then white has to do something like c3 or knight d2, or just bishop e7, castling, normal play. Then bishop b7. This is okay, it's Nimzowitsch-Larsen attack according to the chess.com, but I think this is Zuckertort opening or attack also. I think there's at least 2 names for this line. It's very solid, but of course black's position is also very solid. Okay, knight jumps here. The main idea is to play f4, queen here, maybe some attack, maybe even f4, g4, something like this. And if you want to stop that, you can just take here and put your knight on e4. And this bishop is very handy here. It defends this pawn, and then it will protect the pawn, and this diagonal is then blocked. So this is a very practical way to play, and then we can play f6 later, trade these bishops, and get some play on kingside. Okay, when white plays something like f4, we have a nice outpost here. Maybe f5 is an idea, but again we can play f5, and then if he takes, we can take with the bishop, and there's these dark squares are quite weak, and if he takes here, we can take back, and this gives also quite equal chances. So let's play f5. Okay. There is no chance to create a strong attack now because everything is so closed in the center. But what to do now? Okay, maybe we can take here or try to put more pressure on d2. Actually, that looks very strong because if knight takes, we can have a fork. There's no time to create attack like this, because then we can just defend those pawns or something like rook f7. If queen goes here, queen trade, and so on. I think white have to play knight f1 maybe, but then maybe we can trade these bishops and play d4 and open this diagonal. Then this bishop is very strong. Okay, knight b1 might be a move, but looks very passive. Now we can't play c5 because c3 and this bishop is entrapped or almost entrapped. So maybe just bishop e7. Okay, he can play this way. Then c5 with the idea to play d4. Okay, he tries to go here. Now we can play this immediately or provoke this queen move. And I think it's better to provoke this move because actually I think queen doesn't have any good squares. And now we have extra move, or if queen goes here, we can trade queens, and white has used many moves with the queen and with this rook. We can use this. This is very useful move overall. Rook d7, rook here, d4, and this rook is quite clumsy on h4. Okay, maybe this knight tries to get here. Okay, actually I have to speed up because time trouble is already here. So now the idea is to push d4. He can't really do this, I think so. Okay. He tries to get something, but I think it's too much. These rooks are too clumsy on h-file. But as we can see, this opponent is also very good in this kind of practical threats. He will find those tactics. Okay, now he lost his rook, but of course he tries to play quickly and win on time. That's of course one practical skill to make some pressure with quick play. And I think he plays very good way in this kind of practical chess. Now this bishop will drop and we can promote this pawn. And now we see that usually it's a bad idea to bring your pieces on the edge of the board if you are not sure that they are doing great job there. Yes, I'm seeing comments. Welcome. Okay, let's play e4. Knight f3. If you want to see some openings, you can send your request in the chat. Okay, d6 is somewhat passive, but of course it's not too passive. c3, d4, or castling, for example, are good options here. Okay, knight d4 might be a threat, but if we have knight c3, then we have very nice tactical idea. I think it doesn't work here because I think my opponent knows it, but the idea is to take on e5 if knight d4 happens. We can sacrifice our queen and take here and do this very common checkmate idea. It's called legal's mate. Okay, let's try it because we can do that without too many problems. Now we can't do that because knight covers the d5. h6, for example, is okay. There was knight c6, so knight e5 wasn't. It doesn't work yet, but after h3, bishop h5, and then knight takes here that is the common trick. But now we have to do something else. Okay, maybe h3, and we can play g4 if knight jumps to d4, or maybe he has chance to play knight takes g4. So maybe we need to put a bishop b5 because this diagonal is not the best in those positions where we can play d4. But of course, okay, this is not so easy actually, because we can't do this immediately. Okay, but let's play this move. Bishop e2 was also an option, but I think it's too passive. We can trade bishops and create some play. Okay, knight, queen e2. And I try to break this spin. I have to take here, but I think it's okay. And now queen e3. c5 might be a choice for black. Okay, d3. Now we don't play d4 because there is bishop there, so we can keep this position closed. Maybe knight h4 or knight h2 and then f4. Okay, maybe just this way. There is knight h5, which might be the best move. Yeah, actually, yeah, it prevents f4, bishop g5, but then we can trade those bishops. Queen f3. This wasn't I mean, this is not the best position for white, but maybe it was because knight c3. I tried to use that trick, but it was better to play g3. But of course, everything is quite good here. This bishop might get in trouble in a few moves. I think it was better idea to just take here, because then b file can give some counterplay. Now f4, f5, knight here, something like that, even this way, and bishop might get in trouble. Okay, bishop goes here, I guess, and then it hits here, but then c3. Okay. Let's put king here. Maybe we can use g file. Rook g1, f5, and then g5. This bishop is well placed here. We don't have to move it yet. And now I think g5, g7 is very weak now. Maybe bishop f6. Oh, he just took it. I think it's too much. Maybe even bishop e7 if queen goes here, because then he doesn't have chances to prevent this checkmate plan. Otherwise, there is f6 move, but we can use this idea to block that that plan. Now the idea is to take here. Oh, have to be careful actually. If I take twice, then queen takes h3 and white will get checkmated. So have to be careful. Now we can take here. It's bigger threat, and I think everything works now. Of course, he can take here, but then we are rook up. Should be easy. Okay, he took that one. And now we can just put rook on f7. Checkmate. Okay, let's play more. c4 this time. I play e4, d4, and c4 in these speedrun games. I could play d4 or e4 now, but let's play English setup. It's a good idea to take here, otherwise black plays d4 and might get some space advantage and so on. Now we have very good diagonal here, but of course black can play e5. Not here, probably because, oh, there's some tactics going on. But e5, then we can maybe play something like knight e4, maybe not. But now it seems to me that there is something going on this diagonal. There is too many pieces which are dropping or almost dropping. Okay, knight e5. If he takes here, I can take here, and I think it gives me some chance to create tactics. And if he takes here, I can take here because there's spin again. So let's play this one. And if we trade some pieces, I think it's white's favor, because if I don't do that, then maybe black can play e5 and take some space advantage. But now I can use those squares and diagonals. Of course, I could just play something like rook c1 or a3, but when you have this kind of diagonal, it's a good idea to find some tactical shots. And of course, black can go wrong here. It's not so easy to play. And I think this might be already a mistake, maybe only a slight mistake, but now c6 is somewhat hanging. If bishop goes here, there are still some tricks with this knight. Okay, he took here. Now we could actually sacrifice this rook. I think so, because there are so many tactical ideas. For example, knight g5 or bishop h6, bishop g5 or bishop h6. Also, this plan might be playable, because then there's weak squares. Even queen here and here looks very strong. But maybe it's not at this level a relevant choice, so let's play bishop here. If he takes, we can take with the queen, and then there is too many threats. So I think he will do this, and then we just put our rook here. I think in my own game I could play something like queen here and here. Okay, what to do now? Maybe just trade, because now it's easier to create some play. Now we can take here because c6 is hanging. But where to take? Maybe it's better idea to take. Okay. If I take here, then bishop takes here, and okay, I can't see anything better, so I just take here now. Maybe this is not more than equal, but and bishop b7, I think he plays very well here. Oh, okay. A bit surprising, but of course an option for black. And then I try to get my queen on h4 maybe, or just bishop f3. It defends this pawn and I can try to create some play. I think I should push my pawn to a5 to break this pawn structure, but it's not so easy. I think this is equal, but maybe not anymore. Now b6 it looks quite weak. Okay, I can't do this because queen takes here and checkmate, so I have to be careful not to lose immediately. Again, I have to speed up and try to win this b6 pawn. But maybe I should do that without a4, because if I do that, then this is also a target. Okay, what he tries to do now. Oh, I'm in time trouble now. Can he take here? No. Can he take here? I don't think so. But of course, this is a bit risky looking because this bishop controls these squares. So I try to get my king to g2. Maybe g4 was... Oh, yeah. It was already winning a piece, but... Okay. This is, of course, too much. Oh, I made a mistake. Oh. That's bad, actually. Oh, what to do now? I'm going to lose this one. h5, actually. Oh, he played very well. Much better than his rating, I think so. Okay, let's play more. Let's play Sicilian defense this time. Okay, bishop c4. We don't see open Sicilian at this level. Usually this kind of bishop c4 lines or something like knight c3, d3. Okay, it attacks here, of course, but it's going to lose some time after e6. And of course, maybe f4, and then knight goes back might be a playable choice for white, but no, I think we are ready for d5 already in that case if f4 happens. So we don't have to play h6 to get some benefits from this move. We can just do this, and it prevents probably d3 ideas. At least it's not so pleasant for white, because this bishop is a target already. We can try to trade it or just win it somehow. Maybe knight d4 now. Of course, bishop e7 and castling might be a choice, maybe even the best choice for black. But this move somewhat prevents a3 or a4 ideas, because then we can take here. Okay, let's take this bishop now, and then we can just play e5 if we want, and then we have kind of Ruy Lopez structure with bishop pair. That should be good for black. No weaknesses, and if knight jumps here, usually the best idea is to prevent knight f5, knight h5 ideas. Of course, this is not a threat, any kind of threat at the moment, but if we just play g6, bishop g7 and castling, we have quite a pleasant position. Aha, c4. Maybe he tries to close the position because black has bishop pair, and now there's no chance to play d5. We can do this or do without. It's better to keep doors open with rook b8. We can take here or play this one if it looks good option for black. Now castling, king h7, very typical play. If white plays f4 someday, then this diagonal will open. And if white doesn't do that, we have some plans. f5 is the plan there, but I think maybe we can take here now. Try to take b2. f4 is of course idea, but I think we can play knight d7, and if f4 we take and play knight e5. If knight jumps here, then h5. This opponent plays also very quickly, and probably at this level players are not better in strategical wise, but they are playing much quicker, and that is a reason why it's harder to play this speedrun with the Blitz time control, because I don't have time to explain ideas, and probably we should switch to rapid chess in some point, because it feels like that I don't have time to explain ideas and ask questions. Oh, c5 is hanging. I didn't see that one, and that's the problem. I think so, because I don't have time to cover. Now I will lose this one too. Okay, I have to take here. Maybe queen here. And I will take b2. But I think queen f2 with the idea to take c5 is actually a very good one. And white is much better. Okay, now I have some time to cover this c5. But there was a moment for white to have a big advantage, I think so. Maybe knight f5 is an option here. He can take and create some play. If I do this, I think he will sack here and play this way. So I have to do something like this to attack d3. But still, I'm pretty sure. Oh, very good tactical, strategical plan. Let's see. Can I have time to handle this? Knight d6, maybe. I think I will give exchange and take these pawns. Then I have bishop pair and decent position. Oh, there was rook hanging, but I didn't see that one. Okay, let's play more. e4. Knight f3, Rui Lopez. c3 and d4. Castling. This was a mistake because now we have nice center, no weaknesses, and here white can play many ways, but I think the most practical way is to prevent bishop g4, and this is very useful move in any case, and then we can just put rook on e file and then try to find right moment to push e5 or d5. Okay, maybe black's idea is to play f5, but it looks too... it weakens black's position, and that's why I think there's no reason to prevent it. So let's play like this way. This is useful move as well. We can put our bishop on c4. Okay, he tries to trade knights. Should we trade it? Should we do this trade or not? What do you think? If you want to give your answer in chat, go ahead, or you can just think along with me. I will share my thinking here. Okay, the first thing is who has space advantage, and it's white, who has a big center and good chances to take full control. So if we trade these pieces, then it helps black to get more squares, and if there is 4 minor pieces, usually it's too much in this type of position. So if I have any good square for my knight, I will do something else than this trade. It seems to me that this is the only square for this knight, and then maybe f4. That might be playable. But if I take here, he takes with the bishop, and then f4, I have even bigger center. But of course, bishop h4 hits here. It's not so easy. So I think I will do this and try to kick this knight, because I will have very nice center, and then these pieces are lacking to have good squares. Okay, he took here, but I think it's just it's not working. Of course, maybe this might work, but I can take here in between, and then This helps me to cover those squares. Queen g4 is coming. I can trade even this one. And then put my queen on f3. And then rook here. Okay, some tricks. d4 is hanging at the moment. Okay, how to defend all? I think I have to do something like this, or maybe this one. Okay, this didn't go too well. These guys are so practical already that I don't have time to... oh, I'm already in time trouble now. Okay, now this bishop will drop. Knight e4, of course. f6. If rook goes here, I can take here twice. And then I have two knights and queen against two rooks. Should be winning. Okay. Okay, he played all the game, only in 30 seconds. Of course, we have 2 seconds increment, but I think his idea is to play as quickly as possible and use that factor to win those games. But of course, he played a good opening, but this was clearly a wrong choice, because then white has very strong center and play similar way than I did. Okay, few more. Okay, now we have Catalan. White plays this way and maybe c4 later. Then there is no bishop b4 check. And this might be a good choice if you don't want to learn too much theory. You can just play knight d4, knight f3, g3, bishop g7, castling, and then c4. Of course, okay, rook e1. I think this might be too passive way, because now black can take initiative with c5. My idea was to take big center, and that's why I took on d4. Now the idea is to play e5 and d4. Yeah, let's do that. If we play knight c6, then after e5, white can take here and probably have some kind of reversed Grunfeld defense, and that's why I think it's better to play e5 now. If knight jumps here, then we have at least... oh, maybe there is no chance to play knight c6, but e4, and then this bishop might be a slight problem. Now we at least, this is unnecessary move because there is no e4. That's why I think black should be at least equal here. If knight takes, we can take here, and we have quite nice position. Maybe bishop e6. Okay, he took here, and then this is of course totally different type of position, but queen takes d5 looks quite natural. d4 is hanging, so there's no time for this. If he takes, we can take this with the queen and keep these pawns better way than if we have something like c6 and a7. Those are isolated pawns, and then white will win a tempo with knight c3. Now there's no tempo winning moves, and we can just develop pieces, but maybe here the best idea is to prevent this trade, because then e4 might get weak. h6 is usually quite useful move in any case, and we will have enough time to put our rooks here. So maybe h6. I think it's not too slow, because okay, bishop e3, maybe rook comes here. Now we can start with rook d8, because then we know where the queen goes. If it goes here, then we can win a tempo. If it goes here, then maybe queen f5. Bishop f5 is better option. So let's do this first, and then bishop f5 or bishop e6. Okay, here bishop f5. And I think we are ready for rook c8, or maybe queen e6. After this, is this hanging or not? Probably not. Oh, have to move. I think we can do this. And then bishop is in trouble. But let's see. At least it's very risky decision to take this one, but okay, he didn't take that one. Okay, interesting. And now he tries to trade this, and of course we have a pin that helps a bit, but still this is not easy. Have to take here with the bishop to prevent this this move, b5. Oh, he can take here actually, because this goes with the check, and okay, I didn't see that one. My mistake. Okay, I have to take it and take b2, but it's that equal. e3 is a good choice if I have chance to do that, but maybe not in every position. But but I think here in many cases it can lead good attacking chances for black, and now I think he's going to lose something. Okay, everything drops. Now we will break this pawn structure to get access to g3. Okay, e2 is also hanging, so it's easier to checkmate this way. If there is checkmate, I think there is, like this way. Okay, let's play more. d4. There is a poll in the chat if you want to vote. Feel free to do so. Okay, knight f6 again. This is a bit surprising because now this is same mistake, positional mistake, what we have seen earlier. We can take here, and if queen takes, we can play knight c3. In the other game, knight takes d5 happened, but then we can play e4 and bishop e3. But this gives also a good center for white, and that's why knight f6 is already a mistake. Now we can just put bishop here. f3 is very useful move here and very good one. It defends this structure, and this bishop covers squares very well, so we don't have to worry about anything. And now we can even play this one to make this center even stronger. Of course, b4 might be an option here, but after bishop b6, a5, and black might get some chances to create play. So let's put our rook here, or bishop here, knight here. Maybe it's better to develop king side first, that we can castle, and then we play rook c1 if needed. Of course, e5 might be a move in some position, but not here. Okay, e5 is actually a move after knight e2, and I think I probably played something wrong here, because now d4 is a bit hanging, and I have to go in this line. Actually, I think that might be very good for white, but my plan was to just play like this and keep this center and play e5 later. But now I think I have to do this. Black can't take this because there is common tactics. Now we probably take here and play knight e2. It's better than move this bishop, or yeah. Okay, let's do this. Now knight e2 or maybe b4 to prevent c5, but okay, let's develop. I think this is a right plan to try to create play, but it's not working because this queen is here. We can play bishop b4, rook c1, and take here, and then black's position is lost maybe. Okay, we can trade queens. B4. Of course, we can take this one or just keep this positional advantage. E6 is weak and B7 is weak. Now we can just keep those files closed. Usually it's best practical way to play. Maybe B6 or even C6, or just keep the position this way. Castling is a good idea. We can double our rooks here and then try to create even more threats on D file. Let's cover this pawn and then rook D1. This is already a threat, maybe. Oh, there's knight c5 and then bishop takes b7. So, okay, it's winning also, I think so. So maybe everything is winning here. So okay, that kind of game. Okay, let's see the poll results, and it seems to me that there's lots of new faces, because something like half those voters are saying that this is the first stream they are watching. Okay, thanks for voting, and if you want to share something, opinions about should we do this speed run in different time format like rabbit chess, feel free to do so, because I think this goes a bit too quickly now, because these opponents are playing so quickly. Maybe we will switch to rabbit chess, but not today. I need to adjust this rating first, because it's different rating format, and we have to adjust a bit. But let's see. Let's play this now. Okay, f4. We have Vienna gambit. f5 looks quite dangerous, but I think we can neutralize this idea with knight a5. Okay, but we have to be quick now, otherwise g4, g5 will be too dangerous. So maybe castling is not the best. We can do this first and try to open this center. Or maybe knight d4, actually, with the similar idea, c6, d4, d5. Yeah, because there is no time to take this d4. Even g6 might be a choice now. I don't know what is the best line according to the computer, but maybe it's g6. We can check it later. Knight d4 looks very natural. And now c6. The idea is that if white takes here, we are ready for d5. I think we can do this d5 move already here. If white takes, we can take bishop b5, we can take, and then this f5 might get weak. Even if we don't have chance to take on c6, we can take this pawn, and then bishop is in danger, and we have time to regroup our pieces. So I'm not sure about the tactics, but d5 looks very strong. We can then take here and play even d4. So, but this is the plan if white plays f5. Of course, g6 is other plan, but I think now we are just winning piece with this plan. Okay, and what then? I think this pawn is a very strong one, so let's keep it. I take this knight out, and then we go here. It defends the pawn, and then we are ready for knight f4 plan. Bishop can go to g5, and then this pawn is very well defended. Oh, okay. Now it's over almost. I will play with viewers every Thursday, so same time. So tomorrow is your day if you want to challenge me or just play and try to learn something. So Thursdays I play with viewers. Mondays and Fridays I play rabbit chess. Wednesday is for speedrun, and Tuesdays I train with computers. This is our weekly schedule at the moment. Okay, let's see. Now I will bring my queen into action with e2. I think there is no moves anymore because rook e1 we can just take, and then queen will take here, and then it will be checkmate in the next move. Okay, to the next game. Okay, he wants to play more. That's fine. Okay, again, same mistake. I said that this is a bit surprising, but maybe at this level players still play that kind of move. Okay, but let's play this f3 again. Now he tries to make some improvements, but I think this will lead a good position for white. I think e5 we have to do that before black plays e5. But I think we have still few moves before this is a threat. So maybe even knight h3. The idea is to get knight on g5. And of course, knight f2 is a playable option. So, okay, let's play knight here. Knight e2 is also a choice, of course. Okay, a queen hits here, and now e5 might be a move. So I think I didn't pay enough attention what black can do. So I think I have to do this. In my own games, I probably would sacrifice this by castling, but maybe it's not a move at this level. So maybe we will do something else. I think castling and queen takes here. White can do something like rook c1 or e5 even, but I think bishop d2 is still good for white. I think e5 was needed. It would create some play and so on, but now white can just put queen here and try the similar idea what we have seen earlier. Now it's time for e5. Queen check is not good idea. Maybe we can take here immediately and do this Greek gift tactics. Okay, maybe it's not so easy, so let's start with knight g5. If we have to retreat, we can retreat here, and then very nice squares everywhere. Of course, now this is already decisive edge for white. But after h6, we could play something like queen e4, for example. This knight cannot be taken. We can just castle or play d5, or just take chains. Okay, maybe it's the best to play this one first, because then we have bishop c4, and this might be useful move in any case. So let's play bishop g5, and we give some extra options to go wrong. Now black went wrong, and then we won the queen. Bishop e7. Okay, let's castle to avoid any kind of tricky tactics. Maybe there is no anything, but it's better to be sure. F4 maybe, then d5. Black can actually have some kind of grip on these squares, so maybe we start with e6 now. Then d5. Oh, maybe d5 is not working because there was bishop takes d5, so okay, let's play this way. Black is still kicking. Okay, and then something like this. We can give something back, and then we have still plenty of material. But maybe it's better to just keep everything. Okay, this drops, but then bishop here, queen here. Should be easy. There's a threat. This is also a threat in some lines, because there's checkmate, but I think he will do something like this. Okay. Yeah, okay. When it happens third time, then it's easier to remember. Good point. Okay, knight bishop c5. I think this is something white could do. But I think there's a reason why your opponent plays this way. You can just keep things simple with bishop c4. There's no reason to take this, because then you end up some tactical line which might be clearly better for white, but still you can do this, and then you have nice position without any problems. This is typical Italian game. Okay, there is no knight c6, but it's otherwise it's very typical. And actually, when there is no knight c6, this is even better for white. If you want to think why, now it's good time to think, and I will explain why this is even better than those lines where there is knight c6 on the board. For example, if knight is on c6 and pawn is here, then I think it's very common position. So now white has some extra options. Okay, I think the main reason why this is worse than those positions with knight c6 is that when we play d4, black has to take, because there is no two defenders, and that's why there is no chance to play bishop here. White can take here and grab this pawn. Oh, have to move. And now we can have this great center again. We can play with knight c3, rook here, and make some slow process, or we can push e5 immediately, because there is no knight c6 anymore. And I think this might lead decisive edge already. Maybe not, actually. Maybe we should play... okay. Not so easy, actually. Okay, let's play knight c3 to avoid any complications, and then h3, rook here. This is because I don't want to allow bishop g4. Oh. Black disconnected, so we won this one. But I think if we just check few details from the game, we see that d4 is the best according to the computer also, and here maybe e5 is already playable, but according to the computer, white should play something like queen c2 or knight c3, and maybe e5. Actually, after queen c2, maybe the idea is to play e5 after castling, because then we can put our queen on g6. There is a nasty pin, so this is very nice tactical idea. Then e5, if this trade happens and something like, I don't know, maybe here, then we can just take here and create very strong attack. Okay, knight g7. Can we just take this one? Yeah. Bishop f5 maybe, and then knight g5. Or maybe it's not the best, but of course, white has 2 pawns and attack. And it's usually more than enough. Okay, let's play more. Okay, Caro-Kann defense this time. This is well-known structure, kind of car spot with reserved colors, and usually knight c3 is not the best move in this structure, because black can use this c file, and there is no real point to put knight here. This is quite common mistake at this level. Okay, how to use it? Maybe I would like to keep this bishop. Let's play bishop d6 first. Maybe, okay, maybe just knight f6. If knight goes here, then bishop g6. This is at least playable for black. And now maybe we are not going to castle, maybe even king here, and use this file. Of course, this was the main idea, but now position changed a bit, so maybe we try to find other ideas as well. There's no need to castle yet, because this file can give some extra options, so we can wait and try to find our way. Okay, let's see. This looks natural way to put knight to the better square, and now we win a tempo. I don't know, is this leading decisive attack, but might be so. At least this knight is very well placed. We can probably bring this knight into action, and then we see that there's also some counter chances. I mean, other plans. So maybe rook c1. Maybe c4 is now a plan for white, because king is here, not in castle, so c4 is very natural plan. We can stop it with b5, and I think it's the best move, because then there is no good squares. We can win a pawn at least. But this is very tempting. After c4, it seems to me that we can create checkmate, or at least it's very close. I mean, the idea is to take to play knight here, but which knight, I don't know. And if king takes, then this happens, and then queen goes here, but it's not so clear. It's a fancy plan, but maybe we should play d5 and be practical. In my own game, I would do that, because it's so tempting. But here I try to be practical and play kind of clear way without too many complications. Okay, here knight is much better than bishop. It's good idea to keep these pawns here, not to advance too early. We can create play on queen side, minority attack, and win a pawn, trade everything, and play against this bishop. So let's do this. It's very hard to find any good squares for this bishop because okay, maybe we do this first. There's good squares, and maybe rook b8, other rook to c8. Okay, that I think that might be the best plan for white. Okay. Should we take or not? We can keep this position this way. Then doubling rooks here and try to win c3. There's many threats. Knights or bishops, it depends the position, but I like to play with knights. Of course, I like bishop pair. Usually it's a very good combination, much better than knight and bishop or two knights, but I have to say that it depends which kind of position we have. Okay, okay, what to do now? Maybe just rook b8. I think this is very tempting, but this is only temporary. And these pawns are getting too weak, so it's not a good idea to trade here. If he takes, I just collect that pawn, and these are going to get weak. And then I try to demonstrate the plan. And the plan was to trade rooks and win with this great knight. Okay, let's see. I think he lost this pawn now. And then we can go back. Take this. Of course, we can defend this guy first, and then like this way. If he goes here, then rook b6. Kind of cat and mouse game. Okay, maybe I can give this pawn to demonstrate the advantage of this knight bishop. But maybe it's unnecessary. Let's see. Actually, it goes quite naturally after this move. But this pawn cannot be taken. I can just put my rook here. Okay, I give this pawn and try to demonstrate. Of course, rook c2 is better. Okay, take it. Oh, he don't want to take it. Okay. Have to do something else then. I try to block these pawns on light squares so that this bishop can't move here. And then my pawns are on dark squares, and it usually helps play against this bishop, but it's not the case in every position, because sometimes you can use these pawns to restrict bishops, and this is not always the best way to play, but quite often, yes. Knight c3 if queen bishop goes here, but actually I could just take this one already. Okay, to the next game. Okay, then we can play French defense. Bishop b5 is not common mistake at this level, but if it happens, just c6. Okay, we can keep this option open. But it's much better to put here the bishop. And now if we want to create some dynamic play, we can castle long, but it's risky decision. We can just castle here or play h6 to prevent bishop g5, but it's nothing yet, so we can do this and play bishop. I play this one later, or just put our bishop here. It pins the knight, and now, okay, he lost one tempo. Maybe it's not so much in this kind of position, but anyway, black is fine, and now this knight is somewhat misplaced again. It's better to keep it here, and d2. The knight can go here later. Because there is no future. If knight tries to get here, it's not getting anywhere. And that's why this knight might be a problematic piece later on. Okay, let's see. Should I try to prevent g4 idea? Maybe bishop d6, bishop here, and then I will put something on e8, but let's see. Maybe this way. In this kind of structures, e4 and e5 are very important squares, and the one who gets knight there usually can have some initiative, or at least some active play. Of course, f4, f5 are also important squares, but usually these are the most important squares. Okay, maybe knight can jump here, and it gives some chances to create play, but then I have knight e4, and actually I think knight e2 is not a good move in this position. Okay, this is somewhat hanging, and I think I can just take it. Okay, he tries to open this diagonal, but I can just take this one, and if queen goes to f5, g6, and queen has to retreat. So this is not working for white. Of course, if he can do this and create checkmate, then, but there is too many ifs. For example, bishop f4 stops this plan. There is checkmate. So this will lead winning edge for black. Okay, and now just g6, I guess. Yeah. Okay. That was a blunder. Let's see how far we can go. Now we have 1360. I think at least we have got something like 100 points, even a bit more. Okay, this is the dangerous gambit, and I think this is the first time we see this Stafford gambit in our speedrun journey. I will give one example how you can prevent any tactics. Of course, there's lots of traps, but if we just play this way and then rook f1, if queen and bishop will enter, then we can handle everything. Okay, let's see. Now bishop e2, it prevents these plans, and now we can play h3. And when queen goes here, just rook f1. And there is no play. This is probably the easiest way to play against this famous gambit. Okay, now c3 is already winning, but after knight c3, bishop e3, queen d2, we can castle long, and then there is no typical attacking plans. And you don't have to remember theory. You just put bishop here, first d3, and then everything goes well. It wasn't good move, g4. It weakens white's position, and without getting anything. Usually, if you can have some benefits from g4, for example, space advantage or something else, you can do that. But in that position, there wasn't any good reason to do so. This is quite similar to what can happen in those lines where black has bishop somewhere here. We can do this and then just play d4 or f4, f5. And now we can even trade queens if we want, but oh, actually there is bishop b3. It makes things a bit harder. So let's try to be consistent here. Okay, let's play f4. King b1 is usually a good move if we don't find anything better. But I think we are ready for d4. By the way, this queen might get trapped quite easily. Not now, b4, he can take here. But it's actually quite practical way. If we want to trade queens, then there is no attack after queen b2. But I think we don't have to do that. Let's see. Okay, maybe the idea is to get something on c4. This looks quite passive, but actually this is a threat already and everything is covered. So this might be even the best move here because queen doesn't have any squares. So b4 is already a big threat. Okay, I think he didn't see that one. So b4. Oh, okay, there's queen a4, but then we can trade queens. I didn't see that it's actually a choice for black. Anyway, we can take here now. And then bishop goes to f3. Maybe bishop f2 if needed. Queen, king here. Then we can trade. This one. Okay, tries to create play. Now we can put our knight here. It stops a5. If he takes, we can take, and then we are one step closer to win this one. Let's play d5. It will open these diagonals, and it's very good for white. Now d6 is already very big threat. I think I can do that even after rook takes e1, because after d6 that rook is already hanging, and there, okay, now it's clearly winning for white. Okay, I think that was it for today. Thanks for watching, and let's see the poll results. We have had 44 votes, and it seems that about third have seen all of these speedruns, and of course there was also quite many who haven't seen any of these, and I think we will do small adjustments for next Wednesday, and I think we will play speedrun with rapid chess time control, because I don't have time. I don't have enough time to explain those ideas, because these players are playing already so quickly. They are so practical that they are winning games with this plan. Usually they don't have to be so accurate in chess-wise, but they can play practically, win on time, or win because of time trouble. And I think it's better to change time format at this level. But we have to start from zero, I think so, because it's different time control, different rating, and that's why we can't continue our journey from this point. But let's see. I have to think it, and we will see next Wednesday how it's going to be. But tomorrow I will play against Weavers, so if you want to challenge me, then go ahead, and see you tomorrow. Okay, thanks for watching, and have a nice day.